Hi, everyone. I'm Steve. I'm here with Brian Sanchez, personal trainer at Fitness for 10 in Carson City, Nevada. Thanks for being here, Brian.
I am so happy to be here, Steve. Every time I get to talk to Steve, everyone, it's a good day, right? You know how I
I,
feel. You're watching
I'm
him right now.
I'm just happy.
You are. You are a happy kind of person, which is important.
I'm a happy fella.
That's
So,
it.
we were talking before we turned this recording on, and you were talking about some of your clients and working out with their wives or their wives working out with their husbands and not getting started off on the best not building the best foundation when they're starting because their goals need to be examined. What are they trying to accomplish? And that
Yeah.
has to do, we're going to talk about building that foundation depending on what your goals are. So, what do you think?
Well, and where this comes from, everybody, and me and Steve are big believers in just get to the gym and do something, right? But I always take it a little bit, a couple of steps further, if you will, when people come to the gym and they want to get involved in programs. And what I see in the morning, especially when I'm doing my own workouts, because I'm putting in my own time, I'm waiting and stuff when I'm talking to members of our facilities. And I see a lot of the times newer people coming in with those who are experienced. And there's this assumption that and it's to me it's a pretty regular assumption that if you're working out with somebody that's doing like a 4 or 5 day split on their bodies, you're going to get everything you need to be successful. Or if you come in and you want to be a power lifter and you go right into powerlifting moves, or if you walk into the gym and you think, oh, I want to get strong, so you go right into heavy strength training. Look, yes, some people can physically probably do that. But the biggest concern that I have as a coach is when you start your programs and yeah, as Steve would describe it, a fitness foundation needs to be established in order for you to be really successful in the long run. So first off, so that you don't hurt yourself or that you don't tweak something or you don't experience bad practices that lead to future problems with your body. Something as simple as a deadlift, if you're not aware that you should probably be moving your hips through your zones and you're pulling quickly up off of heavier weights, that you could be injuring nerve bundles in through your collarbone and things like that. Or you can develop carpal tunnel syndrome if you're not gripping and holding properly. These are things that if you just dive into it and you're not accustomed to it, you can start creating these problems for yourself. With that said, it's important when you choose a program that, let's just say you want to become a power lifter. It's important in your fitness foundation to start out, let's just call it levels. Level one being beginner, level five being a power lifter. You want to start at the basic level of performance in your body and make sure that you are establishing the efficiency of the muscles moving together, which is a way that Steve describes as the fitness foundation, if you will. So for us, when we bring you in and you're going to start into a program, or if you just ask your coaches in the gym, they're going to start talking about your functional movement. They're going to start talking about your flexibility. They're going to start talking about stabilization of the body. Little things that they're looking for when they're assessing you prior to putting you into these big programs. They're looking for pelvic tilts. They're looking for heads protruding forward as you're pressing. They're looking for shoulders collapsing forward. They're looking for when you're doing squat movements, knees coming inward on the body, or if you have extensive forward leans when you're squatting up and down because your posterior chain's a little too tight and you're not getting flexibility. This is all the stuff these coaches are looking for, and they're preparing you from day one to move into that strength and training program, to move into that powerlifting program, to move into that bodybuilder program. We start at the beginning and make the assessment. Now, if you're a very experienced person and you're coming into these gyms and you're just changing gyms and you walk in, you probably don't need to do all this because you did that 7, 8 years ago. But for the brand new people coming in, you want to be able to do that. If you stabilize your body, if you make sure your core is excellent. An example would be if you want to be a really good deadlifter, squatter, bench press kind of person, and weightlifting is your true passion, you have got to have a developed core. You can't just do a few sit ups once a week and expect that that's going to be enough to get you to that proper levels. If your core basically, and I would say from the knees to the chest line, 360 degrees, isn't developed all the way around your body, which is your back muscles, your stomach muscles, your obliques, your upper quads, your glutes, your lower back. If this thing isn't built all the way around and you don't have that solid foundation and your body is not learning how to recruit based on movement, all the muscles together to get you in the right position, you can start injuring yourself in the future. That's why this is so important. So when you're coming in with us, you might start out like in a workout routine. You might find yourself in 10, 15 minutes of warm up with core added to it to start developing those muscles, then going into an exercise program that will start to work on basic strength training. Once we get that developed, then we're going to move you into another level of strength training conditioning, and then we can turn you over into the powerlifting, into the heavy weightlifting, into the bodybuilding. But you got to start from the ground level. And I think what's important is you have to have patience. But that's where we as coaches know this. I just worry sometimes, Steve, that when people get excited and they come in here, that they dive into it too fast without making sure their body's balanced. That's what I was talking about today, Steve.
Yeah, it's you gave one example of somebody who wants to be a power lifter. That is a certain type of discipline. But somebody might want to, male or female, a woman might want to be a bodybuilder. Yes, you're going to do a lot of bicep curls, right?
Right.
If that's your goal. Some people want to build a big butt. That might be your goal. But I'm really seeing the foundation of things is really going towards functional movements.
Right.
I push a sled 5 days a week. I push it forward, I pull it back. And I've been amazed. I'm feeling young. I'm feeling good. It's my whole body working together where I'm working multiple body parts and muscles all at once together. That's the key. And I'm feeling really good.
And that's really important too, Steve. I mean, I'll use my workout this morning as an example. Before I even did my first pull when I was deadlifting today, I spent almost 20 minutes in functional movement, getting the body prepared to do that, making sure I didn't feel anything that was wrong. And I have a certain way of going about it. I do certain movements to test my body, if you will, making sure I don't feel anything weird, making sure that things are moving well, making sure my muscles are firing together. And there's certain things that I do to do that. Then I dive into the workout. And it's that patience before you attack your program that's so very important to develop that foundation. You can be the best bodybuilder in the world. You can have the most curvature in your posterior, if you will, in the world. But we have to get you to that point. And if we attack it from the beginning and we go right at it crazy and hard, I'd be too worried that we're going to hurt you. We're going to teach you bad habits. And you're going to do something that like quit the gym because you just don't like it, because it hurts too much. And the pace, the tempo, the style, the amount of work that you put in every time you come into the gym is so important. And that's where we help you develop that.
And, the goals are different. And that's what is really important, understanding that to build a solid foundation. A lot of people's goals are for their body to work better, for them to feel better, for them to lose weight. A lot of these goals, you might not even do bicep curls, right? I mean, you're still going to work your biceps, you're still going to work your triceps, but you might not isolate those. That might not be any specific exercise or body parts that you isolate, right?
Right. I mean, and those are those things that we want to think about as we start developing everything we're doing for ourselves or for our clients. We will break down for you how to go about it generally with your input. We will break down with you what you want to do and how you want to get there. But we have to start at the foundation of our body and work our way forward from there. I know Steve does a ton of functional work. I know I do a ton of functional work. We are always ensuring that the foundation that we've created is always there before we dive into these main workouts.
I'm putting the discipline in also to stretch. Every time I'm in the gym, I'm stretching, at the end of my workout. And if you want to get bigger arms, yeah, you're going to do biceps and triceps.
Yes.
We're going to isolate that, and we're going to do quite a few reps. But the big picture is also important, and that includes stretching.
Correct. Stretching is important. We're so adamant about that. If you struggle in your stretching, we have coaches in our facilities that you can actually join their programs and they will stretch you. They're professionals in that. That's an expertise. That's how important it is to us as a company. We will make sure you have access to this so that you can learn how to do it yourself, and or if you're like me, take advantage of the professionals and they can help you stretch. You have to have a fantastic stretch program.
Yeah, and it's funny. We have stretch in 3 of our clubs, and when people try it, over half of them get hooked immediately.
Well, it not only is a great way to maintain your flexibility, but when you're in a stretch program, and let's just say, let's move away just from the professionals doing it for you to by yourself. It's a good way to get a little self-reflection and movement at the end of your workouts. Some of you might do some of that work in the beginning if you have tight muscles, but it's a good way to wind down. When I use the professionals to stretch me, for me, it's mentally relaxing. It puts my body at ease. It's almost like a release that calms me. And I think other people experience that. So it's more than just moving the muscles around. It's creating an overall movement picture of the body that helps you do a lot of things like release stress, get better long range movements, relaxing the body, maintaining a healthy body so your muscles aren't pushing and tearing. Because a lot of the times when we're in these big powerlifting or strength training programs, people will overload their bars, they'll overload their handles and their weights, and they do what I call a short stroke, and they don't get full range of motion. You continue to do that, you're going to shrink the length of your muscle a little bit, and you have to work to get that back. That's where that stretch stuff comes in. That's when it's so important for you.
Well, you're certainly going to lose some flexibility, and I have 3 of my siblings have all had hip replacements, and I'm the oldest. I don't want a hip replacement, so I'm doing all these things, and my body feels great. And
yeah, but not everybody's as hot as you, Steve.
I would say that I look, I don't know, I tell my wife she looks stunning. Would you say I look stunning?
You could be stunning, more exhilarating. You look very exhilarating. I would say that.
Motivational.
You look very motivated. Stunning's a good word, but I agree your wife is a little more stunning than you, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know if that's good. I don't know if that's good because there could be a lot of reasons why that guy looks like he needs to be motivated,
Yeah.
All right, Brian. Well, as always, thanks for being with us. You guys go say hi to Brian if you're in Carson City. He's at Fitness for 10 there in Carson City. Thanks for being here.
Take care, everybody.